Welcome to the Hoop Hysteria channel. The nightmare that Warriors fans dreaded the most has finally come true. Butler has unfortunately left the game due to injury. Does this mean the Warriors' championship hopes for this season are dashed? Let's first take a look back at the second game between the Warriors and the Rockets. Today, the Warriors, who pulled off an upset in the first game, continued their away game against the Rockets. At the beginning of the game, Amen Thompson drove in for a layup, giving the Rockets an early lead and seizing the initiative. The efforts of Moses Moody and Stephen Curry helped the Warriors stay close on the scoreboard. However, in the middle of the first quarter, Butler collided with Amen Thompson in mid-air and left the game, catching the Warriors off guard. The performances of Jalen Smith and Jalen Green in the latter part of the quarter enabled the Rockets to end the first quarter with a double-digit lead. At the end of the first quarter, the score was Rockets 28, Warriors 18. Entering the second quarter, the intensity of the game escalated, with technical fouls being called frequently. The Warriors, led by Pat Spencer's performance, continued to keep the score within reach. The contributions of Dillon Brooks and Alperen Sengun helped the Rockets maintain their double-digit lead. In the latter part of the quarter, Jalen Green and Fred VanVleet's three-pointers extended the Rockets' lead, and they entered halftime with a comfortable margin. At the end of the first half, the score was Rockets 60, Warriors 46. After the halftime break, Jalen Green opened the third quarter with a three-pointer, further widening the Rockets' lead. Curry and Draymond Green tried to lead the Warriors' comeback, but Smith and Green's three-pointers in the latter part of the quarter helped the Rockets enter the final quarter with a significant lead. At the end of the third quarter, the score was Rockets 87, Warriors 71. In the fourth quarter, Brooks and Sengun's performances helped the Rockets increase their lead even further. Quinton Post and Moody's efforts kept the Warriors' slim hopes alive, but in the crucial moments, it was Jalen Green and Amen Thompson who delivered both inside and outside, sealing the victory for the Rockets. The Warriors had no answer and conceded defeat. When the final buzzer sounded, the Rockets defeated the Warriors 109-94, evening up the series. For the Warriors, Stephen Curry scored 20 points, grabbed 5 rebounds, and dished out 9 assists, while Moses Moody contributed 12 points. On the Rockets' side, Jalen Green had a breakout game, scoring in 38 points along with 4 rebounds and 6 assists. Alperen Sengun had a steady performance, recording 17 points, 16 rebounds, and 7 assists. This game, while lacking the electrifying excitement of the previous one, still sets the stage for a fascinating discussion. And that brings us to the core question of today's video. Can the Golden State Warriors, without Jimmy Butler, truly stand up to the Houston Rockets? The answer, quite frankly, is a resounding it's a long shot. For Warriors fans, the worst-case scenario has become a gut-wrenching reality. In the first quarter of Game 2, before most of us could even settle into our seats, Butler limped off the court and headed straight to the locker room. Soon after, an official update confirmed he'd suffered a pelvic contusion. As of now, his availability for the upcoming games remains shrouded in uncertainty. When we review the game, it's clear that without Butler's presence, the Warriors were constantly on the back foot, outmatched by the Rockets from start to finish. But let's be fair, the Warriors' defeat wasn't solely down to Butler's injury. The Rockets put on an absolute clinic, especially Jalen Green, who delivered a performance for the ages. On the flip side, the Warriors faced a double whammy. Not only did they lose Butler, but Jonathan Kuminga also struggled to find his rhythm, seemingly thrown off his game. With these setbacks, the Warriors' loss almost felt inevitable. However, there's a silver lining for the Warriors. Securing a win in the first away game and heading back to Golden State with the series tied 1-1 is no small feat. Remember, the Rockets are the second best team in the Western Conference for a reason. Their sheer talent and strength make winning to consecutive games in Houston a Herculean task. Right now, the Warriors' top priorities are to regroup mentally, gear up for their home games, and most importantly, hope and pray that Butler's injury isn't as severe as feared, specifically avoiding a fracture. Based on past experience, even in the best-case scenario, Butler is likely to miss at least one game. So, it's highly probable that he won't be on the court for Game 3. If there's no fracture, there's still a glimmer of hope for his return in Game 4. But if it turns out to be a fracture, it would be a catastrophic blow to the Warriors' championship aspirations. In fact, without Butler, the Warriors' status as a legitimate playoff contender is seriously in doubt. Sure, Stephen Curry is a basketball legend, but the Rockets' defense is no joke. With Butler sidelined, Curry will undoubtedly face even more aggressive double teams and triple teams. And here's the rub: the rest of the Warriors roster lacks the firepower to relieve the pressure on Curry. Maybe, just maybe, a role player will have a breakout game here and there, but winning an entire series with such inconsistent support, that's a tall order. During the regular season, Buddy Hield was hailed as the Warriors' key offensive weapon off the bench, but in the playoffs, up against the Rockets' suffocating defense, he's been virtually invisible. Scoring 5 points per game would be a huge improvement for him at this point. As for Podziemski and Moses Moody, they've struggled to provide consistent scoring or explosive offensive plays. And when it comes to Jonathan Kuminga, Steve Kerr's decision to keep him on the bench makes perfect sense. Compared to Butler, Kuminga has a long way to go, and his playing style simply doesn't mesh well with the Warriors' system. Despite the organization's high hopes for him as a future cornerstone, at present, he offers little support to Curry and the team, especially in Butler's absence. If Butler can return after missing just one game, it would be a manageable situation for the Warriors. In the upcoming home games, with or without Butler, the Warriors must secure at least one victory. Otherwise, their chances of advancing might as well be written off. By winning even one of these home games, the worst-case scenario would be heading into a nail-biting Game 7 showdown. With Butler in the lineup, the Warriors generally hold a slight edge over the Rockets. Even though the Rockets excel in rebounding, their shooting leaves much to be desired. However, make no mistake, this series remains highly unpredictable. Both teams have their own strengths and vulnerabilities, and with the series just getting started, it's anyone's guess who will ultimately punch their ticket to the next round. The anticipation is palpable, and basketball fans around the world are eagerly awaiting the thrilling twists and turns that lie ahead. In a nutshell, Butler's health is the make-or-break factor for the Warriors. Unless Curry transforms into a basketball deity and starts dropping 40-plus points per game, even while being triple-teamed, the Warriors are in for a tough ride. And at 37 years old, that's an incredibly tall order, even for someone as talented as Curry. The good news is that Butler seemed optimistic about his condition after the game, but we won't know the full extent of his injury until the MRI results come in tomorrow. So, basketball fans, let's hold our breath and wait. The coming days could very well determine the Warriors' fate in this playoff run.